Last year, Team 17 asked players what map they'd like to see refreshed for the game, and the majority of you guys voted for Purple Heart Lane to get a refresh. Team 17 said, after analysing the map and sifting through player reports regarding its most frustrating parts, they've addressed the following issues on the wider map: insufficient river crossings, unclear where water can and can't be crossed, inconsistent drowning in fields, and a lack of cover in and around certain hard caps. They added that the purpose of this refresh is not to take anything away from the legacy map, but to enhance and refine it and to respect its current tone. Based on the community feedback, they've made the following adjustments to the capture points. At Bloody Bend, they've made some terrain tweaks to reduce drowning in the fields and less prone, added cover points, and added an extra non-enterable barn for cover. At Dead Man's Corner, they replaced a non-enterable building with an enterable version of the same size to provide elevation opportunities as well as an additional quicker route through to the backyards. They've opened up the wall network to allow an additional infiltration point around the compound. They've added additional cover and added routes in and over the wall. At Forward Battery, they have extended the hedgerows to meet with the rest of the landscape, added additional side bocage hedgerows to provide cover opportunities for players wading through the water channel, added extra foliage, and added cover in the flooded field on the flank. At Jourdain Canal, they've adjusted terrain levels to reduce drowning, added a cattle ring cover for players trying to wade through the fields. The players can now walk underneath the footbridge at full height without drowning. The player will drown if they attempt to crouch, but this can be prevented by standing up. They've added pontoon bridge crossings, added immediate cover for players as they cross the bridge, adjusted reed foliage around the bridge, and added a tree line as a sight blocker. At Douve Bridge, they've created additional dock walkways to get to the other side of the river, added cover points along this route, made some tweaks to the landscape to make less of it submerged in deep water, added a little bit of storytelling with destroyed vehicles and artillery scorch marks, and in keeping with the dock theme, they've added an additional small dock en route to the bridge with cover. At Douve River Battery, the water can now be crossed at specific points on foot and in a vehicle. This will be highlighted on both the environment and on the tactical map. At the Pillbox, they've made terrain changes so that deep water is broken up by the land. They've created additional cover, created additional foliage, and added a pontoon bridge river crossing. At Carentan Causeway, they've added a trench network in close proximity to the exit of the existing trench network, added a non-enterable shed building, given it a terrain pass, a foliage pass, made some terrain changes, created additional cover, added additional foliage, added additional cover in the flooded fields, the embankment on the approach for prone cover, and added some additional storytelling. At Flat Position, they've made some terrain changes, added additional foliage and cover, as well as some additional storytelling elements. At Madeline Farm, again made terrain changes, made the dirt road more prominent at ground level, replaced the wall to open up an additional road loop, adjusted road spleens to link up off the road back to the main road, and built up some of the existing field with additional storytelling and cover. At Madeline Bridge, they've updated the rubble affordance position to make it clearer that the player cannot get underneath the arch, adjusted the terrain in the centre of the bridge to allow the player to move underneath the central arch, allow the player to fully cross the river at this section, and it keeps in line with the rest of the canal, created an additional trench network in the field. At Aid Station, they've given it a terrain pass, cover pass in the hard cap, and foliage pass in the hard cap. At Crossroads, they've added a farm compound, given a terrain pass on height, blending, and painting, and additional foliage created. Road to Carentan has seen a terrain pass, a foliage pass, and added additional cover. And at Carrot Patch, there's been no change. I now leave you guys with some gameplay footage from the public test servers. Let me know in the comments what you think about these changes to Purple Heart Lane. Airhead dropping on my mark here. Jesus, didn't even fucking see it.
We cannot retake.
Oh, okay, no problem.
guys.
Hi there.
Cleared that half track. Still enemies on the east flank. Need to get more bodies on this black circle, we're losing it. That ping, showing. Just took out our counter 4.
Can you peel that again, please?
It was here, but I think they've moved. See the Gary from this ping.
Is it down?
Yeah.
Nice work.